This is the first class of a very detailed and complete series of classes that will teach you all the skills of how to really be present for someone else, as well as working with your own distress and clearing it out, how to be a client more efficiently and effectively. In this introductory class, we'll be explaining how human beings collect distress over time and how this impacts our functioning in our day-to-day lives. We'll be learning about the natural healing process that every baby is born with, that is inherent in human beings, and how we can support that process in happening. This class is perfect for you if you want to learn how to better support your friends, your family, and your children whenever they're upset. Hundreds of people have learned how to help each other transform their negative habits without spending hundreds of dollars on therapy. Be sure to watch all the way to the end of this introductory video, because just this information in this video has helped hundreds of people become more clear and more inspired and more able to accept themselves and their emotions and move forward in their lives. Even people with professional counseling degrees have found this incredibly unique and useful in their work. This class is not intended for people who have severe emotional distress, such as disabling depression or manic depressive symptoms or psychosis. Those people really need the support of a professional counselor. They need more than a peer counselor can provide. I'm so excited to share this with you. It completely changed my life. After you watch this first section, be sure to sign up on our mailing list so that you can get more free videos and reports about how to support others better and how to work through your own emotions. I want to talk a little about the basic theory behind co-counseling and how it works and why we do it. And a lot of this theory is from Reevaluation Co-Counseling, which is a wonderful worldwide organization that pioneered this kind of client-centered, one-on-one, world-changing compilation of ideas and theory that have evolved over many years with a lot of people thinking together about how humans are and how our healing happens.
What's actually useful when you're sitting in front of another person and you're attempting to be helpful to them on the emotional level. One of the things that we want to think about the most is, what are human beings actually like underneath? Like, what is our inherent nature? Because you're going to relate to people differently depending on what your assumptions are and what your beliefs are in what human beings naturally are. If you're assuming that they're inherently sinful, then you need to do things like lock them up in prisons if they're acting bad, right? And you know, it's more an issue of like, well, we just need to control these things that are inherently bad.
Let's think about that for a moment. What are you like when you're being the most yourself?
Think about, what is a young child like before they get all socialized and trained to fit into society? Like, what are human beings naturally like? What kind of animal are we?
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Candid.
Candid, honest.
Mm-hmm.
Creative. We're very creative. We create things all over the place. Alive
Yeah.
and energetic. Yes, we're very social animals, right? We run in packs.
Curious.
Oh, very, very curious.
Playful.
Very playful.
Energetic.
Yeah, energetic. Zestful, you could say. How do we like to relate to other people? What feels naturally good?
Touch.
Touching, yeah. We like to be close.
Compassion.
Compassionate. Understanding them. Loving. Like we want to be loving with other beings. If we aren't loving together, we feel like something isn't working right. We aren't really satisfied unless we have a loving interaction of energy between us. So we're also extremely intelligent. Like, we can figure things out. We can create stuff. Like, look at all the stuff that we've created and figured out.
In peer counseling, we define intelligence as the ability to create a brand new, completely appropriate, workable response to every new situation. New things are happening every moment. No moment is exactly like the one before. So if we have a lot of intelligence, we're able to assess each new situation, think about how it's unique, and craft a perfect response to it, an elegant response. But this doesn't always happen.
If a creature has less intelligence, then they have more instinctual responses. Like, you've got a blanket response to all threat, like the toads on the road, right? There's a big light, so you freeze. That's their instinctual response. That's not always an appropriate response.
So if that's who people are, if we're inherently good and loving and cooperative, why don't we act that way all the time? What happens to us?
Why are we out killing people and having wars and destroying the planet and stuff? What's up with that? We haven't been able to express our true needs and feelings, and we have to find sneaky ways to do it and indirect ways to do it. What happens to us when we don't get our needs and feelings met? How do we feel?
Like something's wrong with us.
Mm-hmm. We take it on.
Mm-hmm.
Desperation.
We get desperate.
Shut down.
Mm-hmm. Basically, what happens to us is we get hurt. We get hurt in various ways. We get hurt emotionally. We get hurt physically. We get hurt spiritually.
So normally when you get hurt, physically, for example, you would heal from that, unless it was really a bad hurt, too much of a hurt. There's processes where you cut your skin and the skin heals itself. And there's also emotional healing processes that work the same way, if they're allowed to function. The problem is that in our society, the natural healing processes which are built into us are not allowed to function. They're blocked because of our emotion negative culture.